So, assuming this is the right spot, it has been a long time since I've been up here. Last time I was up here, I was on my 890. So, we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I wanted to come up here with this bike, mostly because it's a little toasty, but I wanted to take this bike up this road because last time I took this bike out, I went to Santiago and then Ortega Highway. Figured it would be really fun up here. But I remember this being a lot twistier than anything else I've done on this bike, so we'll see. And I guess for more context, I'm on a GSXR 1000. I think it's a 2007. This is the Glendora Mountain Road. Which should take us right up to the bridge to nowhere. Which, the last time I did that hiking trail, I was probably still in my teens, probably like 18, 19. And I want to say I got 3/4. Well, first I made it all the way there, and then I got 3/4 of the way back, and my legs were just noodles. They just were giving out on me. But from what I remember, that was one of the harder trails. But I was a fat ass and I didn't have any build up to doing that trail. That was the first one, and I'm in no way, shape, or mind a hiker. And I'm gonna take it somewhat easy, within my limits, because I don't recall all the turns on this road, and I'm not as practiced with this bike, and nor was I anywhere good to begin with, so man, I hate coming to these nice places and just seeing garbage. so unfortunate. I do not envy people that are pedaling up. I don't know what it is, but lately, like, I just haven't been wanting to ride up Santiago on my adventure bikes. It's feeling a bit stale. Which is unfortunate, and I have to like ride an hour just to get anywhere. At least in an interesting spot, and pretty much an hour to hit dirt, so it's kind of unfortunate. Which is another reason I decided to take this bike out, just to change it up a little bit. Yeah, back to the 890. It had the Pirelli, what was it, MT21 or whatever, the one that everyone pretty much runs because of the TKC80 recall, and then had the stock TKC80 on the rear, and I was doing this road. Man, it's crazy how well you can like flick that bike into corners. That thing is so light. Like I miss it, but it had too many just like terrible memories on it. Not because the bike was bad, but because of my experience with everyone kind of working me through the accident I had on it only a couple months after I got it. Which one of these days I'll talk about it in a video again. I tried before and my mic wasn't working. And I was on a completely different setup, so at least the audio is better now. Same with the video. But yeah, that bike was so easy to balance on. Like literally 10 minutes of just practicing and I got a probably 30-second balance going, which is crazy. I can't even get that on my KTM 500. I think the most I got was maybe around 8 to 10 seconds. But I don't know what it is. I'm struggling to balance on the 500. I think what my issue could be is the bike is sitting a little bit lower on the rear, making it a little bit harder. So yeah, I'll have to look at the suspension again. But that bike's a lot of fun too. I just wish I could take it out to different places without having to truck it. I've just been taking the 500 pretty much to Santiago just because it's close to me. throw up a picture, but that's where I parked when I brought up the 890. And sorry if you can't hear me too well. This exhaust is loud as hell. Yeah, my last video, I just left it as all audio instead of me talking. Mostly because it's kind of hard to talk about things while you're riding. Especially unscripted things. My feet are getting worn out just a little bit. It's funny, I'm putting more pressure in the pegs on this than I am on my 500 or my Tenere. Oh. And my hip My hip is cramping. To the Bridge of Nowhere trail. I remember that road kind of going up that left side over there. But apologies for not talking so much. I'm kind of exaggerating the movements a bit, just to get a feel of what it would be like, but still ride within my limits. And yeah, like I said, I'm putting a lot of weight into the pegs. So my legs are getting tired a little bit. All this back and forth switching. And my hands are getting a bit numb. This bike wants to turn so much. And it's like I just don't have the skill to turn as much as it wants to. So yeah, if you see me going towards center line, Yeah. That's the bike. And I'm just trying to manage it. We're gonna stop here for a moment. Right in the shade. Alright. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll come back in a moment. Alrighty, and we're back. Short break and some water. I forgot to bring a snack. So if I had one, I probably would have stopped a little bit longer, but it's all good. And I hope I'm not stuck behind this car the entire ride, because last time I did Ortega Highway, I basically only showed or recorded one way when I went up and back, but the entire way back I was stuck behind a Tesla and a Mini Cooper that refused to just pull out for even a second and let me pass. So that was the entire ride back, just useless footage. It was annoying. I cannot believe how many people are up here. That's crazy. Unfortunately, it seems like we might be behind these cars for a bit. I mean, at least at this portion, I'm okay with that because I don't want to go too fast because it's basically a parking lot up here. Yeah, and this is what I mean. Parking lot. So we'll see what I decide to do with this portion of it, if I just get to somewhere interesting, or maybe if I just have stuff to talk about, I'll leave it in. But yeah. Well, at least at this moment, I'm still learning how to edit. I'm still new to it. I've only edited, and by edit I mean basic edits like jump cuts and just a tiny bit of color correction just to get the video to look decent. But yeah, the footage that's coming off the Osmo 4 that I have here is pretty good. I mean, I record in 4K and then downscale it to 1080. So it looks fine on my computer. There's a bit of compression that's going on when I downscale it, like to where it could look a little bit better probably. But I'm not too worried about it because I do have it set up to do a bit of motion blur. And as far as the Osmo goes, I wish there was a bit better of an indication that it's recording. It does have a little red dot that blinks, but you can't see it. And then having the screen on will just drain the battery, so I don't want to do that. And at least on this bike, it's not loud enough to it's not loud enough for me to hear it while I'm riding, especially this bike. But the quality's pretty good. I'm happy with it, and I haven't experienced any like GoPro style issues. And at least for the time being, I'm one of the people that'll just leave the camera on and I'll cut it out in post. It is sandy down there. Yeah, pretty much the same time actually it was the same time I brought out the 890 over here. I went down into the OHV park, and once you get past the entrance river crossing, not too bad, but I got up to the secondary crossing and there was some big river rock in there, and I made the mistake of giving it a try. Got probably a quarter of the way in and almost dumped the bike. But I had to walk it the rest of the way through, turn around in deep sand, and then walk it back. And that was very shortly after I bought the bike. And the 890 was my first bike. And I was doing some dumb shit. And I think after a bit of research, looking for places to ride on some dirt, I found the Maple Springs Trail. Just because that's my first adventure bike, and I haven't ridden a dirt bike since I was probably 10 years old. So I went up to the overlook at Maple Springs, and then decided, screw it, I'm gonna go to the top. And when I went up there was basically steps in the dirt. It was uphill, whoops, and man, that was tough. I haven't had experience with that style of riding until that point, especially on a heavy bike. My bit of my background is I went from dirt bikes. I had I think it was a KTM 65, and before that was a Honda 50. And then stopped riding. And then basically family got into street bikes for a bit, so I started riding that. The only practice I had was with a neighbor's, I want to say, it's probably like a CBR 250. So up until that point, I haven't even used the motorcycle with the clutch. I then jumped from a 250 to a VFR 1200. And then this bike here, the GSXR 1000. Yeah, so my experience is kind of dookie. But then I've been riding for 10 plus years now. And people in California just do not move over at all. Let's see. I'm surprised how much water is down there. It's been hot lately. Figured it'd be a lot lower. Yeah, last time I was coming up on this road, I paused for a moment to turn on the camera, and I guess a bee landed on me and I got stung in the leg. I was so confused as to what happened, and I realized, oh shit. No wonder my leg's hurting. As usual, stuck behind a line of cars. Only managed to pass 2 before the end. So now we just start the ride back home. And yeah. So I'll end the video there, and I'll see y'all later. Doodles.